So what you want to do is get your parents to donate a lot of money to the school you want to go to. Hi everyone, my name is Cassidy, and today I want to talk a little bit about how I transferred from community college to UCLA. I wanted to make this video because I did make a PowerPoint a few years ago on how to transfer, but if you prefer consuming content in video form, then this is for you. But I'll also link the PowerPoint in the description just in case you want to see that. I will be referencing that PowerPoint a lot in this video, so yeah, it'll be there. I also want to help get rid of the stigma around community college and transferring, because I know for me, I had a difficult time deciding to go to community college before going to a four-year college, and I think I could have used a video like this, or just somebody telling me that, you know what, it's fine, you can do it, everybody has their own different paths, and if you need any guidance, I am here. A quick disclaimer before we start: this is all based off of my own personal experience, so don't see this as a strict guide or anything. It's just my own story and my own advice that I can offer you. You may not even want to transfer to UCLA. There might be another college that you have your eyes set on, and this could help, could not, depends on your situation. So yeah. Also, if I look down a lot, it's because I'm looking at my phone. I have a bunch of points that I want to hit that I don't want to forget. The first thing that I want to talk about is my own reason why I decided to go to community college. During high school, I applied to colleges and I got accepted into some, but I got rejected by quite a lot. And none of the colleges that I applied to, that I was accepted to, really excited me. So I decided to look into the transfer route, because I actually did have a lot of friends who had already transferred from community college to a four-year college, and I started researching more about that. Just, I guess, for context, my grades were good but not exceptional. I had mostly A's and B's. I think I had one C, and my extracurriculars, I was in a few clubs, and that was about it. So I was a good student, but I was not an outstanding student. And deciding to go to a community college was honestly a bit difficult because there is a lot of stigma around it. I had to convince my parents, which was a big deal because they also, Asian parents, sending their child to a community college might be kind of tough for them or taboo. So I did have to do some convincing, but I was confident. I was confident that I was going to transfer within 2 years, and I think that's what allowed me to go to community college and work hard and then be able to transfer out. So I started mapping out and planning to transfer before I even started attending community college. I'm going to tell you, if you are planning on transferring, your two best friends are assist and guidance counselors. I know a lot of people have different experiences with guidance counselors. I've heard a lot of times they're not very helpful, but for me, I personally found the guidance counselors at my community college to be very helpful. I would always go to them when I have questions, or even just to clarify something, just to make sure I'm on the right track. And assist was definitely how I got through community college. And I do have a tutorial on how to use that on the PowerPoint, but I think it might be a bit outdated just because from what I saw last time on the site, they changed their interface a bit, but the basics are still the same if you want to check that out. I also was already researching about the kind of colleges that I wanted to apply to and the different programs. I would recommend looking up different programs that could help you transfer. A really popular one that I used was TAG, Transfer Admission Guarantee, and that one basically guarantees you admission to certain UCs if you qualify. Another thing that you should do before you start taking classes is see if you have any AP classes or college courses that can, I guess, qualify as a GE, or usually community colleges offer placement tests, and if you perform well on those tests, you can bypass lower GEs or lower division classes, and those are usually free too. For me, I actually didn't even have to take any placement tests because I took AP English and AP Math, and those allowed me to just get through the GE requirements for English and math, which was great. So it's actually very beneficial to already know your major and what schools you want to apply to when you start taking classes, because I don't know if it's like this for every school, but for my community college, if you declare your major, you get priority registration, and that allowed me to get whatever classes I needed to get out of the way early. If you don't know, that's fine too. You can just start taking lower division classes or GE classes. So if you know you want to go to a UC, for example, you're going to start doing the I get C, I, G, E, T, C, and those are just a bunch of GE requirements that you need to take before you transfer. Those can be found easily through a Google search, and maybe if you're taking lower division classes, you get to see what will interest you and what you might want to do once you transfer. I love to be organized. I love spreadsheets. It's kind of lame, but yeah, I love making spreadsheets, and I love color coding everything. So I did map out my whole entire before even like attending college. I mapped out my entire academic plan. I wrote down all the classes that I needed to take and like how many units everything was, and I created a spreadsheet that you guys can make a copy of in the PowerPoint if you're interested in that. So now I'm going to talk about actually applying. If you want to transfer within 2 years, you're going to start applying at the beginning of your second year, or I mean basically you start applying a year before you want to start attending that college. And I think the hardest part about transferring is like not the actual classes itself or the process of applying, but just staying on track and keeping yourself accountable. So that planner is definitely going to come in handy. Just make sure to take about 3 to 4 classes per quarter if your college is a quarter system like mine was, and stay on track. Talk to your counselors. Keep track of all your deadlines. That's important for financial aid, for any programs that you're applying to, obviously your dates that you need to apply by. Also, start your essays early. I had my essays revised by 2 different people. My essays went through a lot of revision, so they're not really difficult, but you do want to start early just so you have time to edit. So now I'm going to talk about my personal stats. I know some people are interested in that kind of thing, so when I was in community college, I got straight A's, A pluses. I had 1 A minus, so I didn't have a perfect 4.0 GPA, unfortunately. So my grades were pretty good, and I was in 2 clubs at my community college. They were both dance clubs, and I had a leadership position for one of them, and then I also had a part-time job as a dance instructor. So those were my extracurriculars. Other than having good grades and those extracurriculars, I really didn't do anything else. I also made sure that my essays were very polished. As I stated before, I had a few people look over them, and I gave myself plenty of time to revise and things like that. So I think my essays were pretty good, but I guess I'll never know for sure because they don't give you direct feedback on your essays. For the schools I applied to UC Davis, which was my tag school, which meant basically that I was guaranteed admission there, and that's why I didn't apply to any other tag schools like Irvine or Santa Barbara, just because out of the tag schools, Davis was my first choice. And then I applied to UC San Diego and then UCLA, and I got into all 3 of them with my major, which is communications. And I decided to go to UCLA, as you can tell by the title of this video. And I just decided to go to UCLA because I fell in love with it after touring the campus, and I've always wanted to live in LA. I had a great 2 quarters there before I had to go back home because of everything going on. I'm sure you guys know what that is. Okay, so my last pieces of advice is that you can do it. I just want to encourage you that it's not that hard. You just have to keep yourself accountable, and you can do it. Let's help dispel that stigma and save a lot of money while you're at it. Community college is so much cheaper than what I pay at UCLA, and I took the same classes that you would probably take at UCLA for the first 2 years anyways, so I'm really happy about that. I also just want to say that whatever path that you're on, whether it be for your college, right after high school, transferring like I did, or maybe not even transferring, going to work right away, or getting your degree at a community college, those are all great paths depends on your situation. There's no judgment towards any of those paths. You just have to figure out what's best for you. But I personally will always advocate for transferring because it worked out for me. I don't regret it at all. There is kind of the stigma that when you're at community college you feel aimless or worthless or down in the dumps, and I understand that because compared to your peers who may be going away for college for your first 4 years, it comparatively might make you feel a bit down. But personally, I had some of the best times in my life during community college. I made some of my closest friends. I was able to work at a job that I really loved. Like, it was always a dream of mine to teach and be paid for it. I'm so happy with the decisions that I've made, and I would not redo anything. I think what's important is that you just keep a positive mindset and make what you can out of it. You know, just because you're going to college at home doesn't mean that you can't go out and have new experiences or like meet new people in the area, you know. If anybody wants to talk or has any questions, feel free to message me. My social media links are below, and all the resources that I've talked about will be below too. So yeah, good luck, and I know you can do it. Hi, Editor Cassidy here on my phone. Forgot to mention that if you're interested in any other video ideas, like maybe a day in my life as a UCLA student, remote because you know all our classes are online now, or if you want me to talk about any of my experiences at UCLA, like joining a dance team or anything like that, make sure to let me know in the comments below. And thank you for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, you know the usual. Thank you.